Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Edna Keep here, and it's Free Coaching Friday. So, let me know, everyone. Did you go anywhere for the family week? We were kind of traveling all over the place. We thought initially that we would head out to Vancouver and the islands. I got a couple friends there. Didn't realize how often we had to stop because we had the kids with us, and we found lots to do on the way too. So we didn't make it all the way there, but we sure had lots of fun. We went to the Garth Brooks concert in Edmonton. We went to the water park in Edmonton, and we went on a canyon ice walk, which was pretty cool. We'd never done that before, especially because it was such a beautiful day. And good morning, Charmaine. How are you? Good morning, Dave. Hey, Charmaine. Good video yesterday. It was a little bit long, just as a pointer for next time. But so nice to see you getting active. The ideal ones at the beginning until you get a following is about 3 to 4 minutes. And unless you're actually doing an education portion on it, I know that's what I kind of try to do on my free coaching Fridays. But yeah, to begin with, to get a following, it is nice to have 3-4 minutes, and then people get the beginning, what you're trying to say, and then your call to action at the end. But yeah, it was good. It was nice to hear the stories, and also nice of you to share. Corny's quote there, it was so powerful. Who else do we got on here? Hey, Dave, how are you? Still waiting for some homework from you, but we should have a call here one of these days because I just want to catch up with you. So give me a call even this weekend. I'm around all weekend if you have a chance to talk. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Jake. Hey, Jake, too. Waiting for homework from you. We should maybe try to have a call this weekend. I am around. We ended up coming home a little bit early. Everybody was kind of tired of being in the vehicle and being in hotels, so we did come home a little early. Good morning, Carl. And good morning, Warren. Okay, well, you know what? Today, what I'm going to talk about is apartment buildings, and why I think that a lot of people, especially you guys who are definitely interested in real estate, should consider owning one as opposed to a single family home. You know, they're as easy to finance as a single family home, and in a lot of cases easier, because with single family homes, they're looking at your income, they're looking at your debt service ratio and stuff like that. With apartment buildings, they're looking at the apartment building and whether it's going to carry itself. So that's a huge differentiation there. Apartment buildings are considered a business, and houses aren't. They're, you know, and some of the biggest differences are, you know, with a house or a duplex, anything like that, you have one vacancy and it's 50% vacant. You have 2 vacancies and it's 100% vacant. Now, with an apartment building, if you've got 18 doors or 24 doors, 2 units vacant is hardly a blip, you know. Yeah, it's nice to have it, but basically you can have your expenses covered with quite a high vacancy, actually. Like we've calculated that even 15-20% vacancy, we still have all the bills paid. So and we've never hit that in our area at that high. So give you an idea about that. Good morning, Logan. Good morning, Corny. Good morning, Rob. Hey, Rob, we drove by that mall in Medicine Hat on our way back. We actually stopped in Medicine Hat for supper last night, and we drove by, and wow, that is such a nice area. The area is so busy. There's so much stuff all the way around. So we didn't actually get out and go inside and have a look, but the outside definitely looks very nice. One question I have for you is, what's the square footage on the one that the owner's using right now? It looked like a larger square footage than the rest of it. If you let me know that'd be awesome. So some of the things that I want to mention about apartment buildings is, you know, there's still kind of an open market in our area on apartment buildings, because most people still choose to focus on single family homes. Once you've bought an apartment building and you realize it's not as big and scary as you think it is, then you can see why it's so valuable to own an apartment building. You know, we're actually a mortgage pay down is so huge. You know, like one apartment building is $50,000-$60,000 a year, depending on how big. There's some that we're looking at like $300,000 a year. So you know that kind of stuff is absolutely huge as you grow. But you know, I got a statement on a single family home that we bought. Actually, two. We bought two single family homes. Oh gosh, it must be 7 years ago now, because it shows that my remaining term is 2 years and 10 months. So we did have had it for a while. But you know, a tiny little house that we actually got for none of our own money, because we paid $95,000 for it with a 5% down mortgage back when you could do that. You can't do that anymore. And we have rented that place at about $1,000 a month roughly the whole time we've owned it. Sometimes a little bit higher, sometimes a little bit lower, but pretty close. But you know, the cap or the principal paid out each year on that little house that we got in with zero of our own money, $1,912. So just a mortgage pay down alone is almost $2,000. You know, that adds up, right? So that's one little house. That one's on Retallick, not our favorite little place because it's in the hood. It's the only house we own in the hood, but we got it for nothing down. So anything that we get from it's pretty sweet. Another one that we own, we paid actually $141,000 for this little house, and our principal pay down on it per year. And this one we rent at $1,350. I think we cash flow at like around $600 a month. $2,800 a year in principal pay down. And again, that was one we got for 5% down. So whatever 5% of 141,000 is pretty sweet. So it gives you an idea of the difference between a house and a multifamily. Dave's asking, what's the cap rate in Regina for multifamily? Right now, we're finding it around 6.5%. So pretty decent. You know, when I was actually in Calgary, and we're looking down there at some office space we're buying, and the fellow that we met with was telling us about some apartment buildings that are close to the Calgary University. And he says per door price, I think he said, was around $180,000. And you know, their rents are not much higher than ours, but they still consider it a very, very good investment because prices are not going down in Calgary. Even with all the stuff that's going on, there's a ton of people that live there. And we got lots of land with this deal. So there's we didn't buy it yet, but we are looking at it, and lots of land. So there's an opportunity to build on it. So sometimes you got to go for the extras, but I think the cap rate on that is on like 4%. But that's what's happening in the bigger centers. So keep that in mind too. We're getting some decent cap rates here. I talked a bit about how vacancies won't break the bank if you have, you know, one or two, or right now I think vacancy rate in Regina is around 6%. In Saskatoon it's around 10. So if you've got just for easy math, if you've got a 10-unit building, that would be one vacancy out of 10. So that means there's still 9 people. And you know what? I even found with duplexes, which I call small apartments, duplexes, fourplexes. If one is full, it pretty much covers the bills. If the second one's full, it's gravy, just about all the way, especially if it's the upstairs that's full as opposed to the downstairs. And again, it depends how much, you know, you're putting out for utilities and stuff like that. But even a duplex is better than a single family home. Apartments produce income over and above just paying down the mortgage. Another reason why we really like it. And it's nice to be able to get our investors paid off 5 to 7 years and they still maintain their ownership. So I find the investors really like apartment buildings too. We're finding even with some of the students that, you know, the more doors, it's just the risk is definitely lower. One of the reasons why we've stuck with residential properties, and even though we're always tempted by commercial and we like the idea of having long-term commercial tenants, residential people always need a place to live. So that's something that you need to know. And so location's really important as well. We like central locations, that's close to something like either the business that's happening in the city, or a university, or downtown, different stuff like that. The other thing with the apartments as opposed to the houses is you do get a break on your property management fees, because there's that many more doors under one roof. And the other thing too is you get to go to one building to collect, anywhere from 10 to, we've got 36, or in one area we got 144 units. So you go to one area to collect the rent, or one area to fix. You're not running all over the city. So that's another big thing. What else do we have? Oh, and then legal fees too. You buy 10 houses, you've got 10 different title transfers. I know in Manitoba, title transfer fees are really high. Here it's not too bad, but in Manitoba it's really high. So that's another reason to get them. You don't have as much legal fees, as much title transfer fees, that sort of thing. And the banks do look at apartment buildings different. They look at them as a business. Can it sustain itself? They look at the business first and foremost, and then they look at you. Now, one of the things that you do have to keep in mind is when you're a brand new investor, they will also look at you as, can this person handle the work? Now, it's not a deal breaker. What you have to do is make sure your property management is in place, and whoever you're working with, if a coach or whatever, somebody who's going to help you with that, put them down as part of your power team, because they like to know, like for example, with us, we've got several mortgages at CMHC. We've never missed a payment. Everything's, it's never perfect. We're having challenges like everyone else with the vacancy rate being a little bit higher, but we've never ever missed a payment. So if we're listed on one and they're looking at others, that is a good point too. That's so powerful. So make sure that you have your proper team members listed on there. Some of the terms to think about in apartments that I always call an apartment building an ideal investment, because it has income. And you can have income from more than one way. First, it's rent. Of course, that's the biggest one, but you've got laundry income. And then you can even advertise on the side of your buildings sometimes, so you can increase your income from there. Maybe a vending machine, stuff like that. Locker storage space is another one. Parking, sometimes you can ask for extra income from parking. So there's a few different sources of income. Your biggest one is definitely the rent. Depreciation, it's a really nice spot to be in when you can depreciate part of your building. I don't recommend that you do it every single year, but talk to your accountant, because even as a joint venture partner, you can choose to depreciate your portion when the rest of us don't. We don't just remember that when we sell, if you've appreciated it too much, you'll have to worry about recapture. So make sure that you're on top of things with your accountant that way, so that you don't depreciate it too much. But it is a great way to avoid paying taxes, is depreciating it down, so that there's more of a write-off there. And then, of course, one of my favorites, which is the equity build, and that is the difference between the mortgage or the mortgage pay down, and the fact that your tenants are paying that off for you. I just think that is absolutely amazing. You think you're owning a $4 million building, and you don't have to pay the mortgage yourself. Your tenants are paying for that for you. And that's building up. Like I said, we're at $25,000 a month or more now, because that was each year it goes up. Your mortgage pay down goes up, so it's probably higher even now. But $25,000 a month for mortgage pay down that somebody else is putting away for us for our long-term retirement. I just think that's amazing. That's my favorite part. Then, of course, there's appreciation, which is regular inflationary appreciation. You know, it's we don't use it a lot in our calculations when we're calculating the value of a building, that we don't focus on the fact that it's going to go up 3% a year. Because really what that does is it just keeps your money keeping up with inflation, as opposed to your money going backwards. You know, if you've got money sitting in a bank earning you 1%, well, first of all, depending on your income rate, you're paying taxes on that, full taxes. So if you're in the highest income tax rate, which is like 44 or 45% in our area, you're losing, for every $100 interest you earn, you're losing like $44 to taxes. So keep that in mind too. So if you're in a long-term apartment building, a lot of that is deferred, and you're getting your cash back as part of your investment. So there's no tax implications on that. There's many things. And then, of course, there's forced appreciation, which is another favorite of ours. If you take a building that is under rented, so say it's 80% full or 20% vacant, and you bring the vacancy rate down to 3%, you've increased the value of that building. If you increase the rents, you know, just say roughly, just again for ease of math, but say $100 a door on 18 units. Well, that's a lot of money over a year. So again, it increases the value of your building. If you decrease in expenses, you know, you save money. The more units you buy, of course, you can get better rates on your insurance. And the more units you buy, the better it gets. So you can save money on insurance. You can save money on power, energy. There's so many different ways of saving money in there, and you have to manage it to get it to that point. And then again, another favorite is leverage. You can still get an apartment building for. We're actually working on a couple right now where we're looking at CMHC financing, so we can get it with 15% down. Now, yeah, there's some fees involved in that, and the rents and the income versus expenses really have to make a difference. In Regina right now, the cap rates are lower, so we're having to pay. We have to put more money down, so maybe even up to 30%. But you think at some point, if you can get all the rents increased, and rents aren't going to go down much more than they have, you know, in the last couple of years. So you keep your building in good shape, and you keep going with inflationary increases. That increases your building too. So then you can go back and leverage it again in the future, pull out a lump sum of cash, and again, when you refinance and pull out the cash, that's all tax-free money because it's a loan, right? And then you can evaluate an apartment building. Again, this is another thing I really like, without leaving your house. People sometimes ask me, hey, do you want to go look at the apartment building I got under contract? Well, no, not really. I've looked at so many apartment buildings in my life already that I really don't ever want to walk into another one. We still do the odd time if we take an investor through or something. But really for me, it's about the numbers. We need to know that the building's in good shape. We get that done with inspectors and appraisers and stuff like that. We need to know all that kind of stuff. But you can analyze an apartment building through the profit and loss statement and the rent rolls. So know that too, and then know that you have to verify everything that's been sent to you, because buyers and sellers are always telling half-truths to get their stuff bought and sold. So just know that. And then I really like this quote that Grant Cardone comes up with. Now, Grant Cardone wrote the book, I think it's called 10 Times. He's a very, very intense guy. Like, he's always about 10 times in your income and 10 times in your work and all that kind of stuff. He's a little intense for me, but really smart guy. And he says, for the vast majority of people, college never leads to riches, nor does a home. If your goal is to build up $300,000 of equity over 30 years, then buying a home is a way to park your money the same way you would in a savings account or under a mattress. Now, I disagree a little bit there. You're paying down your mortgage. and rather than paying rent. I think it's better than paying rent from someone who rents a whole bunch of buildings. But for your long-term wealth, owning your own home and paying down your mortgage is important too. And I think it's a little bit better than a savings account or under a mattress, because at the very least, your building is keeping up with inflation. If it's under a mattress, it absolutely doesn't do that. But if you want to leverage your money and grow wealth, buying a single family home, again, is not the way to go. Buying apartment buildings is the way to go. You can partner with other people, as I teach a lot of you. You don't need your own money to buy an apartment building. There's a ton of people out there looking for a better way to invest their money, and that's where you come in. You know, you learn what you're doing. You put in the sweat equity. You don't just get a free building. There's the sweat equity part. You're not going to get paid for the first 5 years. You're going to have the income or the expenses. The property management's going to get paid. Your investors are going to get paid. You're going to be doing work in there for free. You're going to be managing the building or overseeing everything for free. But what you want to concentrate on is you're building that equity for yourself. So if you're 50% owners with your investors, 50% of that mortgage pay down is what you're building. So in 5 years, when they're paid out and you're getting, say, $50,000 a year, you're building 25 a year, so that when they're paid out, that equity is there. So that's one of the ways to think about it. It's a sweat equity build that you're doing, and it works really, really well. Let's see, I got a few more questions here. We've got some more people joining us. Good morning, Carm. Good morning, Lawrence. Good morning, Leona. Nice to see you on here. Good morning, Amir. Sean. Good morning, Jane. Neighbor Jane. Amanda says, great point. More doors, less management and legal costs. So true. Good morning, Janelle. Good morning, Chandel. Rob says, what do you suggest is a good price range for Regina apartments built in the 60s with updates? That number I know, because we own a few built in the 60s. We have paid anywhere, like when we started in first building we bought was in 2008, 2009, we paid $75,000 a door. Right now, door price per door is between $115 and $120. We recently bought some just outside of Regina, but they're almost brand new. So we paid $127 a door. So, but in Regina, something built in the 60s and taken care of. I mean, you don't have to make it totally to the nines, make it look like a brand new building, but taken care of, yeah, you're probably looking at $115,000, $120,000 a door. Lawrence says, is there a rule of thumb when it comes to how much we usually pay in legal fees when purchasing a multi-unit apartment? I don't really have a rule of thumb, no. What I usually do is I just call the lawyer and I say, I have this building under contract. Can you give me an idea? And send them over the actual offer so that they can see it. And then ask, because there's title transfer, there is title insurance. We always get title insurance just to make sure, just in case there's any challenges. And then it's so much depending on your mortgage as well. So if you have a $2 million mortgage, well, it's higher than a $1 million mortgage, which is why you really can't go with a rule of thumb. So we generally go by what we paid on the last one, and sometimes we're surprised because stuff comes up and there's more costs on it too. So just send it over to your lawyer and ask them what they're going to charge. And don't be scared to shop around about that too, because some lawyers that we've used in the past double what the lawyer is we have now. So be careful with that too. Rob says, we've got another building with vendor take back in the works. What's your suggestion for the interest rate to be paid in a vendor take back? You know, I'm finding that vendors are usually really happy anywhere between 4 and 6. I don't think we've paid more than that. You have to make sure that the numbers are going to work for you. But yeah, between 4 and 6 is a good price to pay. Good morning, Monique. Hey, good morning, Shaylin. Hey, congratulations on the engagement. Can't wait to meet your new guy. And Lauren says, thanks. Okay, perfect. So Manoj says, I have a group of people from Calgary looking for investors for building new homes on 44th Street Southwest, Hendon Drive Northwest, Strathcona Crescent. They're putting $1 million themselves and looking for another $2 million for 10% per interest. You know what? Personally, I wouldn't put $2 million into anything for 10% interest. You can get a lot more than that doing it yourself. Why would you put it into somebody else's deal and make them rich? 2 million, I wouldn't, yeah, 10% Minaj, that's not enough. Tell them to give them some equity if they're looking for $2 million. Equity plus 10% preferred rate would be a good one for me. Lawrence, what about possession date? Is it okay to have the possession date on the first of the month? First of the month is a hard one. And the reason why is if you do it on the first of the month, you have to get into the building and put that under everybody's door. Not every vendor wants you in the building before you take possession. So we usually try to make it the second or third of the month, let them collect rent, and then put it in our final adjustments. Meaning if we take possession on the 3rd of March, we get the rent from the 3rd to the 31st. They get the rent from the 1st to the 3rd. So that's an adjustment that the lawyers can do. Usually, preferably not. Now, if the vendor is easy to get along with and easy to work with, and he really wants you to take possession on the 1st, just let him know that you're going to have to be able to get in and communicate with the tenants so they know who the new check is made out to. And make sure you put in your contract that if perchance they happen to receive some checks or some e-transfers, because I've had it happen. We haven't sold any, but we've got new property management, and in some cases they're still sending me the rent. Now it doesn't matter because I'm still the owner, but if somebody else is owning it and they've e-transferred somebody the money, you need to be able to get that back. So watch for that. Good morning, Pon. How are you? You're welcome, Minaj. Yeah, I just don't think paying 10%. I know for 2 million, I wouldn't take 10% on my money. Not at all. Not ever. I can get people so much better as a part owner on a building than straight 10% interest. Okay, let me see. I'm just going to check and see what time it is here. Okay, we're at 10:28. Does anyone else have any more questions for me? Well, thank you, Melissa. Yeah, my hair's getting long, so I can make it do some pretty funky things. I actually had it done when I was at the West Edmonton Mall. We'd been at the water park, and we had checked out of our hotel, and we were leaving, and the girls wanted to shop, so I said, okay, you go shop. I'm gonna get my hair done. And he went and done. He poofed it all up this side, all this side, and I was like really high like this. I thought I just looked like Pink on Pink, the rock star singer. So it was pretty funny. And he said, do you like it? And I said, well, it's always interesting the different ways that people do your hair. So I said, I'm okay with it. I don't mind trying something different. So while I wait for a few more questions that come up, one of the things again that I just want to mention is the Profit in the Prairies event is coming up very quickly. And you have until February 28th to get your ticket free. Now, free, but I still need a $99 deposit. The reason is I need a confirmation that you're coming. You don't come, you don't get your $99 back. Costs us a lot to do an event like this. We got to pay for the room, we got to order food, all that kind of stuff, and get our our sound guy and all that kind of stuff in place. So we need to know how many people are coming. And we're still going to be selling tickets after the 28th, but it'll be $99 for a regular ticket, and you won't get it back. Now, we also have VIP tickets for $275. The benefit of having the VIP ticket is you get lunch each day, and we also have a VIP dinner Tuesday night. You get to hang out with all the speakers at lunch and at that dinner. And Lawrence says, what is the event? So the event is, this is our 3rd year of having it. It's a lot of education in the real estate. We've got some really good speakers coming in. We've got Paul Martin. He's a journalist here in Regina, knows a lot about Saskatchewan, knows the stuff that's going on. He does a 2-hour presentation for us. I've got some mindset people coming in because I really think that mindset is 90% of a person's success. So we're going to be, the theme actually of the weekend is mindset, because we want people to realize that in order to grow, to be a wealthy person, you have to grow personally. And if you're not willing to spend the money on yourself to grow personally, you can maybe just expect to be stuck where you are the rest of your life, because you have to grow personally in order for your income to match that. I remember reading that from Jim Rohn years ago. He always said, become a millionaire, not for the money, but for the person you'll become. And that is so true. You cannot be a minimum wage earner and go on and become wealthy if you're not continually educating yourself. You have to invest in yourself. This is a great way to start. The weekend, yeah, you've got hotels if you're in Regina. Let me see here, what else? Oh, let me just finish talking a little bit more about the event. We have one speaker coming in from Alberta. They're going to be talking about agreements for sale. This is a great way to get houses, duplexes, and apartment buildings under contract. We do apartment buildings all the time, and people need to learn that. He's going to talk about it for about an hour at the event. He's going to have a booth there so you can talk about him one-on-one, and he's also coming back April 8th to actually do a one-day workshop. So if it interests you, you're going to have a chance to learn more. Who else do I have? I have some, I've been looking at learning how to buy businesses with none of our own money. And I have a speaker, he can't come in live, but from UK, he's going to do a webinar for us and then answer live questions. And he's actually set to come to Regina too. We don't have a date. A lot of it will depend on what courses people are interested in and how many people want to see him come to Regina. And then from there, we'll plan it. I have... who else do I have coming? Shelley Hagan's coming. She's going to be speaking about fast cash in real estate, how to get your cash fast. Of course, I speak on stage a lot. I'm going to have some success stories from some of the students that have been working with me. So that's always a really exciting part. And you get to network with a lot of really, really great people. So if you go to Lawrence, you're going to, everybody else, you're going to be getting some emails over the next few days from us, and it's going to explain a lot more in detail and give you a chance to get your tickets. So I'd love to see you guys out. Believe me, it's totally worth it. Anybody who's ever came the last 2 years, and I've had people say, you know what, this year was so totally different from last year and still amazingly awesome. So just try to make it out for that. Jake says, for the seminar thing, where can you get the prices on the motel rooms? I believe also that in the emails that you're going to get, there's a link to get a hotel room until the end of February at a reduced rate. So watch for that. Watch for it in your emails. If you don't get it, shoot me an email, because I know you got my email address, and I'll make sure that I get it out to you. Or if Amanda or Chandel's on here, maybe they can post it. Good morning. Meetings allow me to log in late, but happy I can listen to this audio later. Oh yeah, no problem, Harry. And I did see you got your tickets, so I'm excited to get you here and get to know you a little bit better. Good morning, friends. And Monique says, sounds like a great event. Wish I lived closer. You know what, Monique? You're in Ontario, right? I know of some people that are planning on driving out from Ontario. So if you'd like to hook up with them, I maybe can get you in on the same ride that they're coming. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, so they might be able to squeeze in another person if you like. Let me know if you're interested. So that's good. I was away on Wednesday when we had our Prophet in the Prairies event, but I got some really good feedback already saying we had a lot of new faces out and that Jerry Flegel did a really good job speaking. So, Pawn, you would? Pawn, I don't know if I have your email address. So if you can shoot me an email at edna@ednakeep.com, and give me your email address and maybe your phone number, and I'll look into checking out that ride for you. Anyway, so I was talking about the Prague event. So I heard it was very, very good. We did get the recording, so I'm going to hopefully listen to that today or tomorrow. and get a chance to listen. They said it was really, really good. Oh, and here Amanda's posted on there the 3-day pref event. The speakers, the details and tickets are here, and it's http://ednakeep.com/2017pref, PREF. And again, there is the benefit of the VIP, but for those of you that's difficult, come on out, listen. Friday, or not Friday, we had on weekends before, so that's a little bit different. This year we decided to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because we do attract mostly business people to our events. So we find that people actually find it easier to get away on a weekday than a weekend. So we're going to test that out and see how it goes. So Monday night, after the speakers, we're having a little cocktail reception, and you'll get a chance to walk around and visit the booths. The booths open at 8 in the morning, and you'll get a chance to speak to some of our speakers there individually, one-on-one, see what else is going on. And then after, because we're done around 5, we'll have the booths open, we'll have a drink or two, walk around, visit again. That'll probably go till about 9:30. And then Tuesday, we'll finish at 6. The booths will be open till 6. Then we have our VIP dinner. And then on Wednesday, we're done at 5 o'clock so that people can get home if they need to travel or anything like that. So, and Amanda says, yeah, email edna@ednakeep.com to get on the mailing list to receive the hotel discount information. And like I said, I do believe that is ending as of February 28th. They'll only hold it for us for a little while. Again, they've got other people to cater to too. So we need to know that. Again, like, comment, and share with people that you think might be interested in coming. I'm continually amazed at how many people have never heard of us yet. We're online, we're advertising, we're quite public, and yet I'm meeting people every day. I met a fellow on Bigger Pockets the other day who didn't know we existed, and he's in Regina buying stuff, and he's interested in meeting up with other people too. Amanda says VIP tickets include daily lunches. Oh yes, if you have a VIP ticket too, and you have a deal to present, again, you have to apply for that because we don't have time to do like 10 different deals. But if you have a VIP ticket, you get an opportunity to present your deal, but send it over to me first, because I got to pick the top probably 5 that we can get in front of the Prairie Dragons. And of course, if they're shorter, we try to get a little bit more, but that'll be a great opportunity for you. VIP dinner and more, and then details on the link, she says. So, good morning, Earl and Donna. How are you? You just joined just at the end, so I'm going to be closing off now. I got to get my kids fed. We got in really late last night from our trip, so I haven't even fed anybody yet. So that's what I'm going to do now. So thanks everyone for joining me. I will see you on Monday for Mindset Monday. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback on that. So look forward to talking to you then. And yeah, shoot me an email if you need more information on that stuff. We'd love to have you out. Amanda says when someone buys a VIP ticket, we'll send you to fill out about your deal for Edna to review. Okay. Thanks, Logan. Thanks, Dave. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Talk to you Monday.